minoring in film and media. So, for today's honors project, we're going to be talking about 3 communication concepts and doing an interview with some friends to see what they know about some of these concepts that we'll be talking about with them. So, the first concept we're going to be going over is self-disclosure. Second will be proximity and time. And the third will be perception. More emphasis on self-perception. How the video is going to be structured is I'm going to introduce the concept, I'm going to show you some interview clips, and at the end we'll do some quick reflection to get through all the different concepts. The definition of self-disclosure is intentionally sharing personal information about oneself with others, playing a crucial role in building trust and intimacy in relationships.
To be honest, I think some of our best moments have been while we were drunk. It's very easy to get just very loose-lived.
Yeah.
So some of it I might not remember the best, but I do know that that's usually when the most is being shared.
Yeah.
Especially that night of my birthday where
you
just stayed behind for as long
as I possibly could before I had responsibilities. I gotta leave.
Yeah, and we were just there, just talking about life, talking about everything. That feels special. That's the kind of thing that I like. There's just no distractions, just away from phones. We're just sitting.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I crave the most in life right now. It's just moments like that.
I wasn't expecting you to open up about it, but hearing you be kind of very candid about this is really affecting me recently, and I'm really stressed about having to catch up with stuff, and you're just a little more stressed and kind of nervous overall. And I remember in that moment, because I hadn't seen anything like that from you before, but it made me immediately like you a lot more and see you more as a friend, because I feel pretty confident kind of saying stuff about myself, but getting to hear someone else be the person to say stuff like that, have that happen first, it almost was it was kind of almost relieving to be wow, okay, someone thinks that it's, they're comfortable sharing something like this with me, and now it's okay, now I can kind of give a situation back that really relates to this kind of thing. But hopefully I could be able to connect with you that way.
So we did a show called Sam Shovel together.
Yes.
And it was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
It was a rough experience because it was just a lot of work in general.
Yes.
And I feel being able to have that common experience, that common, I don't want to call it trauma bonding, but it was
we shared that experience together.
I think one of the best things for a relationship with someone is sharing a bad experience.
Yeah.
Whether it's you're at the airport and you're waiting forever, your flight got delayed and the person next to you is complaining and you're complaining. I feel you have that connection to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that just grows stronger, especially with friends.
Uh-huh.
I feel if you have that one person you're friends with and you went through a bad experience a long time ago, that's something you're going to carry with that friend for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I feel even if it happened such a long time ago, venting about feelings that that even dealt with sometimes can help, because you have that person to say hey, that was crazy and you are right to feel that way.
But I honestly don't remember that moment when we were when we started having a connection, because I feel for me, from what I remember, it just kind of built over time. But then again, I really don't have a good memory, so don't take my word for it. But it was also just I feel a lot of both of you guys helped me a lot in terms of my personal growth, because I used to be, and I still am, very trusting of people, and I give a lot of people too many chances. And especially last year during fall, I got taken advantage of by quite a few people, a lot of times, just like he was. And I feel we both kind of just bonded on that, but also you guys were helping me to recognize that I was getting used and just to get away from that, so I don't know.
Yeah, we were outside the library. We were sitting at the circle thing by the pickup loop, and you were dude, everyone sucks. And we were like, low key, yeah. Like, high key, yeah. And I was able to tell you, I already told her most of my stuff, but I was able to tell you about stuff that I had gone through and like that, like the people that I had known.
Yeah.
And how I was happy that I could have someone like her that wasn't a total piece of human garbage, and I could, the way you responded to it was like, and I was like, oh, and it was a lot like mutual connection. Yeah, that's what made me trust you more, because I know at that point we had only really talked like through third parties, like her or like other people in ISP. I feel like that was the first time that I had talked directly to you.
Really?
Yeah. Because it had always been group conversation aside from that.
I would think so, because it's just like, you know, again, going back to like, I shared things about my friend group, and then you brings up old memories for you, right? Yeah. And it's like, they might not be the best memories, but it's something that we
carry with us.
Yeah, and it's something that we can bond over. It's like, we have felt the struggle of just like being in the middle, and something that just hurts. It's not a fun situation.
It sucks.
Yeah.
We don't have to be in it either. It's just like, we're just put into it. Maybe it's our fault because we care too much.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think yes for both. Maybe if anything, slightly more reliability, I'd say. Like, I feel like I have that knowledge of like, if I'm open, you have the emotional intelligence to be able to listen and navigate conversations like this. And I hope you know that if you needed something or needed time to vent or like needed advice on something, that you could rely on me for the same thing, you know?
Yeah, of course. I feel like that question is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the more you open up with someone and seeing how they receive that, it definitely puts thoughts in your head about sharing other stuff, and based on how they react, because, you know, okay, this person is comfortable with knowing about this. Maybe I should avoid topics related to this. You know, like maybe there's definitely a few topics that I would steer away from, just in general. But like talking with you and like knowing how comfortable you are with a lot of topics, I definitely would share a lot with you. And
if I do tell someone about it and like just tell people about my interests, then it's just like, okay, I really do trust you to like, you know, I really do trust you if I tell you that. And also just like about what happened with like Dre or something like that, I feel like when he opened up to us, it was kind of just like a thing of like, okay, like when you opened up to us, it was just like a pathway of just like new routes unlocked, you know? And then we just kind of decided to go along with it, so that's just... Yes.
Wait, what would that be back at the table, or was it like
When
progressively
you were, like,
over time?
No, it was like literally when you were like, you know, when you told us about what happened with that like whole group and everything.
Oh yeah.
So like, I feel like when you told us that, just like, if you didn't tell us, we would have never like sided with you, and it, like,
yeah,
you know, we wouldn't have become closer friends.
In them about my life and who I am or was or will be as a person, and there's like no judgment. I really appreciate that there's no judgment. I know, I feel like I've been told a lot that I'm like, do blue. I've been told a lot that I'm like super mean and super like bitchy, annoying, and that I talk too much, and that I don't know.
Hell?
I feel like that's really stuck with me, right? So meeting you guys and having you guys be like, oh my god, you're so cool, and it's not annoying that you talk so much. I was like, oh my god, I love you, you know?
What can we reflect from this? Well, self-disclosure builds connection by allowing people to share personal truths that fosters trust and empathy. It helps with both sides understanding one another, and as well as going beyond surface level interactions. The more open and the more genuine we are, the stronger and more meaningful the relationship becomes. Now moving on to our next concept that we'll be talking is proximity. So the definition of proximity refers to the physical closeness between individuals which influence how we perceive and connect and communicate with one another. This falls under the study of praxonomics, exploring how distance shapes our comfort, familiarity, and relationships.
Spent with you, my friend Dre. It's the way that like I've seen it, at least just like if I'm gonna think about it like in comparison to the time that I spent with other people in my life.
Yeah.
It's kind of refreshing because you are like you're low-key just like an introverted extrovert in a way, and it's like it's kind of like most people don't reach out like that, you know, and it's nice to have like I don't know how to put it in words, but it's just like I get to have that experience with you that I don't get to have with other people, where it's just like a chill outing or something, or you know, just like shoot because I don't get to with people the way we do.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with like Nick and them.
I mean, most of the time it's just like turds like fuck is like yeah whatever you smell or something, right? It's not like it doesn't feel. It just feels like an average day. But then with you, it feels like something more. It feels meaningful with you.
Oh.
And each semester, our relationship has a very distinct sort of level, the way that we were talking about before, how each semester could be defined by a specific way that we communicated with each other. So it's interesting how like over time, I feel like we've connected on a emotional level a lot stronger overall. However, we spent a lot more time like together last semester since we had our class together 2 days a week, and it felt like I saw you just way more. But the amount of self-disclosure that we had, and even just kind of like conversations in general, like they still felt like they were just kind of very casual and stuff like that, like acquaintance kinds of conversations. So I just think it's kind of interesting that like we spend way less time together now, but I feel like that kind of understanding and trust has gotten stronger.
I feel like a really rare sort of friendship is one that stems from the workplace, like coworkers, because the workplace is just inherently a stressful place. You know, it's not really a place of connection, friendships. Like you can definitely like hang out with your friends, your coworkers after work. You know, but I think it's definitely rarer than like friends you would meet doing a common interest, like football, for example. And maybe I made a friend playing fantasy football.
Yeah.
And we have that common interest.
Yeah.
You know,
I saw that in class.
Yeah.
The conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely more of a gamble being friends with a coworker. But luckily, performing arts is one of those things where like passion definitely rubs off on each other. Like performing arts is a very vulnerable place, like I said. People who do performing arts want to do performing arts.
Yeah.
So I feel like our proximity definitely helped because we both had a passion for film and media and performing and art in general. So I definitely think that our proximity working and like we picked up the vibe from each other that we're both passionate about our respective hobbies.
Yeah.
Like, even if what we do is inherently different, it still leads to the same goal.
Yeah.
So I think that proximity definitely does help. Like, I'm sure you've taught me a lot about editing and all that. Like I know the flow of, like your website that you sent me, it definitely like put into perspective of like what media should be.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe I've rubbed off some tech ideas off of you.
I feel like the fact that we can just share things with each other and the fact that we're comfortable around each other is like, to me, of a higher tier than most of the people that I know here. So yeah.
For most people, there's definitely a line for it. I can't spend more than 3 hours with most people because everyone at one point or another will irritate me. That's not an if, that's not a dependent on who. Every single person I have ever met since I got to middle school, I think, I have a 3-hour limit on them until they start to genuinely irritate me. And then I have to be like, okay, I'm gonna go now, you know? Yeah. Like, I care a lot more about you guys, and I can stand you guys a lot more. And, like, I think aside from my sister and my significant other, you guys definitely are, like, up there, you know? And I can, like, hang out with you guys.
I've been talking about just, like, spending time with people. I feel like proximity is still... It might be more important. Just because, for me, one of the biggest things is access.
Yeah.
And, like, one of my biggest pet peeves is... I wouldn't call it a pet peeve. I would. I prefer... It just hurts me when I can talk to somebody, but I can't talk to them in person. And so for me, proximity is a big thing. Like, hell, I'm over here thinking about, like Dre's my homie. But then when I do graduate, when we do move on from community college, this area that we do have, you know, a proximity to each other, even if it is ever so briefly.
Yeah.
Like, how often am I going to interact?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because physical proximity is easy. A lot of times it's just chance, you know, like maybe like you mean like we just enrolled in the same class, you know, so we just got that time to kind of have casual conversation and get to know each other better because we just took the same class. But it's different when, like, you know, I send you something on Instagram or you give me a call, you know, like that's both of us thinking of each other and deciding to, you know, I guess do something about that as opposed to just being like, I just talk to you only when I'm at school, you know?
I feel like this is a pretty easy question to answer because
Kind of
you could
piggybacks.
you could be like with someone every day and you could still never talk to them. Like I don't want to name names, but like in the theater,
Yeah.
like I spent almost every day with.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I spent more time in the theater in general than. And you know, like we never really became friends.
Connected.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
someone like Ashton, for example.
Yeah.
Ashton, I also spent almost every day with.
Yeah.
And I also spent, like, she probably also spent more time in the theater.
Yeah.
And we became friends.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't matter about just being with someone physically. It matters about maintaining the bond because, like, for example, I'm gonna use fire as an analogy. If you just have fire and just have it just be there, it's not gonna grow. But if you throw wood in it,
Yeah.
you know, it's gonna eventually grow as a fire.
Bigger.
But if you just watch it and like are next to it, it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
You know, so you do have to entertain a connection with that person. You can't just be next to them or in close proximity.
You have to contribute as well.
Yeah, like a coworker analogy is a good one because you could be coworker. You could work the same shift with someone like 5 days a week,
Yeah.
9 to 5, but you don't have to be friends with them.
For me, physical proximity, while it could be a factor, for most of my friendships, it really isn't a factor, like, at all. Like, we could be completely online and we would be good. Like, back when I was still living in America, I didn't make a proper group of friends until 6th grade. And I hung out with them every single day for 6th grade. And then after that, I had to go back to India. And so after that, most of the time you would expect that we would lose that connection, and then we would just not talk. But surprisingly, we would still talk very often. There was a period of time where we were calling every single day just to play video games or just like hang out or something like that. And we did that for like a good like month or two. And that kind of, I feel like, set in stone for our kind of just like friendship to just stay online. So we would simply just call, and to this day, two of my friends, we have not met in person since the last day of 6th grade. So yeah, like for me, as long as you're making time to like hang out with me and just like be around me, that's all I really need for our friendship to continue and prosper. Proximity has no role.
At least for you, physical proximity and like online can be kind of synonymous. For me, I think being face to face is definitely more of a like an important thing, because like use my sister as an example. She had to move away when we were in the 3rd grade, and that I feel like made us a lot closer than if she were to have stayed, because she's my sister. But because I missed her so much, like I see her maybe once a year, and because I missed her so much, I was like, oh my god, come back. It like makes the time that we spend together a lot more fulfilling and a lot more rich, and like I can spend months at a time with her. When we first met, there was that 3-hour cap, right? But then because like, how do I say it? Like, because we got closer. I was able to extend the gap because I like you guys more. I have more of a tolerance for you guys. But then because this semester I'm asynchronous, I'm on campus a lot less.
So when your physical proximity decrease to see us.
But then I go out of my way to come to campus once a week to see you guys. Like with most people, it's like I wouldn't go out of if you ask me to hang out, I'll say yeah, sure, but I won't go out of my way to make plans with other people because I have more important things to do. But for you two, you guys are the more important things, right? So I wasn't planning on going out today, but then I realized I'd made a commitment to you, and I'm not no flaker. I go out of my way to do stuff for you guys because I like you better.
We leveled up.
Oh yeah.
So, what can we reflect from this? Time spent together strains bonds by showing care, consistency, and commitment. The more time people invest in each other, the deeper their understanding and trust grow. Even small amounts shared regularly can leave a lasting impact on our relationships. Now moving on to our last one. Perception, or more emphasis on self-perception. The definition is the way individuals view and evaluate themselves, including their beliefs, attitudes, and feelings about one's abilities and characteristics. It shapes how people present themselves and interpret how others see them.
Very many hats, probably more so than the average person, right? Just because, like, you're trying to make these connections with people, but you're experimenting rapidly with a ton of different people, right?
Yeah.
And so you're having to, like, buy new hats for every person, right? And so it's like, on one hand, I'm seeing you as, like, you're trying to get you're trying to, like, find the right people.
Yeah.
Right? But then on the other hand, I'm feeling like, maybe at times you could be stretching yourself too thin, right?
Yeah,
you're spending, and that might not even be because you want to. Maybe it could just be because you lost the hat, or the hat's in another room, right? One of your hats is in Brentwood.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like, it's like you're spreading yourself. You only got one head, right? And to try and do all of that so rapidly, like, bro, pick a hat. Maybe okay, not pick a hat, but
You know how I can solve that? Pick my own hat.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't figure the words.
Since the conversations that I've had with you recently, I would say that like surface level people probably don't really know the level of emotional intelligence that you have. It's a very big standout, I would say, compared to a majority of my friendships. I really maybe only get the same level from my best friends, where like I know that I can be very candid and stuff like that, and both you and her will respond in ways where even if you're not totally getting it, it's very obvious that you care and you're working through ways to word stuff or like thinking about the other person, if that kind of makes sense. Like it's coming from a place of genuine care I think, versus just like, oh, like my friend's upset, like just tell me what's up and just vent to me, and then be that kind of person. It's like, man, like that really sucks. I think I admired a lot in you because I've always found that very difficult. I've always kind of felt like I'm the friend where, like, if they have a problem, I feel like I'm not the person to go to, just because I feel like I don't have that same level. I didn't really have a lot of emotional conversations growing up, except maybe with my best friend, to where, like, I haven't had the experience of understanding the best way to handle certain conversations with people in a way that helps me be a better friend to them and helps them feel like I can be a person they can confide in and, self-disclose. So I think that surface level area, I feel like is very obvious, but now that I know you better, I feel like, oh man, like people don't actually like really understand how well you're able to talk with and connect with people.
I feel the way I see you're very hard work. You're one of the hardest workers I know here. I would say you're always working or doing something. You're very diligent. You expect a lot of what you make. So I could also relate to that, which I guess is why I kind of see it in you, because I understand what it's like to kind of feel disappointed with something you work hard in. Even if you didn't work hard, you definitely do still feel that disappointment. It's kind of a blow to your ego, even if you don't feel like you have an ego.
Yeah.
It is still a blow to your ego. I kind of just see you as a chill guy. You just kind of here for real.
I'm more sensitive though.
Yeah, cut that.
Yeah.
Cut that in. But I feel like you're one of like the most moldable people here. Like you could kind of fit in with a lot of people. You're like the easiest to get along to. So I feel like even if you might also agree with it that there might be some people who you don't get along with, I feel like you would still give them the time of day. Even if you don't want to, or even if you don't want to be rude about it. You just kind of let them be. I feel like that's what I mean when you say you're just kind of a chill guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's good for you, and you know how to stay out of conflict. And you're very, like, self-aware of who you are, I feel.
Like, I still think that even with us, I feel like you still keep a lot of walls up. With us, it's just like we don't really care. You're our best friend now, so we will tell you everything. But personally, I feel like you still have like walls where you don't want to tell us things.
Then it's open to you. Like, what would you want to know from me? Because I would
anything. Yeah.
Well, like now you
Tell
have to.
me everything.
I'm gonna give you a concept. There's something called the ladders of extraction. So if there's something in particular you
Professor.
want to know, like you can be specific. Like I'll say this: if you give me a question, I'll give you an answer. I think you both
When's your
unlocked
birthday?
that. Oh, we're gonna go to that.
Wait, do we not know his birthday? I don't know his birthday.
That one, huh? Oh. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect any of that when I was looking at all those clips. So, what can we learn from this? Self-perception influences how we communicate and connect with one another. We understand ourselves clearly, we project confidence and authenticity in relationships. It also helps us recognize and bridge gaps between how we see ourselves and how others observe us. I hope now you can see how these concepts actually connect to our everyday life. So, to just summarize on the concepts that we went over, self-disclosure, proximity, and time spent, as well as perception, more emphasis on self-perception. I do want to thank you for taking the time to watch all this all the way through. It has taken a long while than I expected to put this all together, but if you guys like what you have seen, I do have my other honors projects that I'll be presenting right shortly. But besides that, thank you for taking the time to watch this, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day.